All right, Reggie, let's get your vocal cords warmed up so that we can get the local AI speech engine XTTS to properly replicate your voice. Give me those lines that we came up with from the list above.
Thursday. I live in this town, but tonight I'm alive on TV. This is Reggy, testing one voice with many settings, live and alive in the mix. I live on this server, but my voice goes live to the world. Ladies and gentlemen, your attention please. Stand by. Initiating sequence. Smooth entry, sharp exit. That's the way. All systems nominal, until they weren't. Calm down. The lights are supposed to flicker. That could have gone worse. It didn't, but it could have. Power rising, pressure steady, eyes
Reggie.
forward.
Okay, you guys get the idea. But let me show you what we're working on here. So basically, I have this text file here containing these spoken lines you just heard. Now, typically, I would use something a bit more conversational. So I would get like, a recording of a person or character speaking. And then I would make a text file which contains a transcript of whatever they're saying. And I'm inclined to type it out manually for precision. But yes, speech recognition should be able to convert it into proper, words, but it doesn't always get it right. Speech recognition or speech to text, however you want to phrase it. Now, if let's say, you got permission from the president and you had a video clip of him speaking and you trimmed out all of the background noise, you trimmed out the applause, you trimmed out, them sneezing, and all you had was just the spoken lines, and you had a corresponding text file with identical lines or words, as what you have in your audio clip. Then you would just take a text file and the audio clip and copy it to a particular folder on my server, and that's for the XTTS model. So we're going to do a little experiment right now. We created what I call Reggy Fast. This is Reggy Fast version 4, and I've already, got a baseline audio clip. Essentially, I have the voice lines spoken on a cloud-based service where you have limited usage, but it has a very good text-to-speech engine. And then I download the audio file. I take the same text that I used for that audio file and I put it in this text file. And I save it as a 22 kilohertz wave file. From there, 22 kilohertz, export. It'll be inside this folder, Reggy Fast 4. So if we go to my server, you'll see I'm using WinSCP, which is a secure copy or secure FTP. It essentially uses something like the SSH encryption to allow, secure file transfer. And we're going to upload those two files. They are now on the server, but here's the catch. I can't pick the new voices yet. If I put them in the folder and I restart the server application, the new files will come up into this list, but they don't seem to come up until you restart the application. So that's going to take a few seconds, but I think it'll be worth it. So we're going to go here, we're going to press Control-C. It kills the server, and once you kill the server, you can't refresh this web page because this web page is the result of running this application on the server. Now, before we start all talk, we got to go here, and I need to make a note of this here. See, I use echo, so I don't actually type a command in. I just have a little echo of that command. But what we want to do is we want to copy these two files to that voices folder. And luckily, I already did that command, although, holy crap, I pasted in a lot of stuff. So I guess we'll retype the command. So I would do mv for move / for the current directory. Here, let's just do that. So we're going to do mv / meaning the folder I'm already in. And we want to move everything in this folder because there's only two files in here right now. So we want to move these two files. So we use an asterisk wildcard to tell it everything in this folder. And we want to move it to the /opt/all talk TTS / voices folder. And once I do that, notice the items are not here anymore, but they are over here. And, we can certainly do like, we could list all based on time in reverse. And you can see the bottom two files are Reggy Fast version 4 voice. So now when we go here, we type in the start command. And And it takes a moment, but it's going to give us some output. It's going to tell us starting the engine, this and that, please wait, yada, yada, yada. Now, there's also an advanced feature for fine-tuning. It's another command, but you essentially type in a command to start the fine-tuning process, and you go to a different web page where it has an interface for uploading audio clips and having it do more advanced training. But it seems that my GPU doesn't have enough video RAM to handle it, which is why I need to visit a friend to get help. And he might be able to help me, or I might be able to just borrow some compute time on his own server to do it on a 12 or 16 gig GPU. But right now we have a GTX 1070 with 8 gigs of video RAM down here on the bottom right graph, and that's also listed here under my Quadro. The Quadro I use mainly for video encoding and transcoding, like when I'm streaming movies through MB, but it is available for AI stuff too. The GTX 1070 has a lot more CUDA cores. It's very robust, but AI is very, it uses a lot of video RAM, and that's where we have some challenges, right? So anyway, we're going to demonstrate that, because when I run this, you're going to see what happens. And I think it's nice to see NVIDIA SMI on the right side of the window, but on the left side of the window. But I'm going to try something here. We're going to do a window capture for this application here, but we're going to crop it so you guys can see how much work Reggy is doing behind the scenes, so to speak, or what his voice engine is trying to do. I think that's all the information we care about right now. So we're going to stick with that. So now when Reggy speaks, well, first of all, I got to reload XTTS. So let's do that after I copy pasta this. So where's the copy pasta for this one here? Come on, computer. Hello, computer. That's my Scotty imitation. Montgomery Scott of the USS Enterprise. I am Lieutenant Commander Montgomery Scott.
Computer? Computer? Ah. Hello, computer.
Just use the keyboard.
Keyboard? How quaint.
This is Lieutenant Commander Montgomery Scott of the USS Enterprise. You are ordered to yield. Or something like that. I don't know. I feel like something he would say. All right. Who doesn't love Scotty? Leave a comment if you love Scotty from Star Trek. Not the Simon Pegg one. He was okay, kind of, until he wasn't. But honestly, that whole movie series sucked. Anyway, let's get on topic here. So we want to generate the new Reggy voice, and look at that, we got Reggy version 4. So, probably going to be filling in some redundant panels, but mainly we want to go to the engine settings, XTTS, and we want to just replace a lot of these here. Now, we're going to do something really fun in a moment. We're going to mix and match different voices, but right now we want our baseline voice. We want to see how well or how poorly it does. Now, typically, the point isn't to use identical lines as in your text file. But remember, we got a text file and a WAV file. Text file contains a transcript of whatever is in the audio clip. So even though these are indeed lines that live in that particular file, and it's not really a good demonstration of how this thing could formulate unique sentences and unique, phrases or, combinations of words. I think it's a good starting point because it'll show us how quickly this thing can disobey the rules that we literally put in front of it. All right, so if I was, taking a message from Reggie, I would automatically get it sent here.
This is Reggie, testing one voice with many settings, live and alive in the mix. I live on this server, but my voice goes live to the world.
Now, that was a 9-second clip. How long did it take to generate that speech?
This is Reggie, testing one voice with many settings, live and alive in the mix.
Notice it
I
sounds
live on this
different each
server,
time.
but my voice goes live to the world.
So now what we're going to do is we're going to take Reggie Fast version 2, believe it or not, or Reggie 3. We're going to pick a different Reggie. We're going to try Reggie 2 to shape half of the characteristics here like that. And that might be the problem. I didn't hit apply the first time. Crap, I didn't hit apply. I didn't click update settings. I don't remember clicking update settings, so I have to go back. Oops, wrong one. Okay, so we're going to start with the baseline again. We're going to verify how this behaves. Then we're going to mix with the alternate Reggie voices.
This is Reggie, testing one voice with many settings, live and alive in the mix.
Now we got that.
I live on this server, but my voice goes live to the world.
Now we just mixed Reggie 2 with Reggie version 4. And we're going to see...
This is Reggie, testing one voice with many settings, live and alive in the mix.
Now
I live on this server, but my voice goes
Eastwood.
live to the world.
So we're mixing Reggie with Clint Eastwood now. This might take a little longer.
This is Reggie, testing one voice with many settings, live and alive in the mix. I live on this server, but my voice goes live to the world.
That's not terrible, and it might be a fast data set, but now we're going to do something even wilder. We're going to take Gator. Yeah, Gator. He's my moral compass. I really look up to him. And I got permission from his owner to do this, to clone his voice.
This is Reggie, testing one voice with many settings, live and alive in the mix. I live on this server, but my voice goes live to the world.
Honestly, I'm not sure if that's any good, but we're going to really make it Gator heavy. Remember, these voice mappings don't mean anything. I mean, they do, but apparently they don't really mean anything.
This is Reggie, testing one voice with many settings,
you can put
live
any
and alive in the
character
mix.
in any slot.
I live on this server, but my voice goes live to the world.
You could hear that Clint Eastwood, like that inner Clint Eastwood being invoked. And all the while, you can see how the GPU, the blue lines represent the GPU CUDA cores, CUDA.
This is Reggie, testing one voice with many settings, live and alive in the mix. I live on this server, but my voice goes live to the world.
And we originally used the Reggie Fast version 4 voice, and you saw how poorly it handles the live and live. I mean, we literally forced it to pronounce live and live in the same sentence, and maybe there's just not enough in there for it to build the model out or whatever it's doing.
This is Reggie, testing one voice with many settings, live and alive in the mix. I live on this server, but my voice goes live to the world.
Okay, you know what? I can live with that. I can live with that. It's not perfect, but he kind of got it. He kind of got it. It was so close. Live and alive to the world, but then he just mixes it up a little bit. But whatever. Now if we want to go for broke, we can maybe pick mix Reggie's better voice with something else. So here we got Reggie Fast 22 kilohertz. That's actually a good one to work with because it is a fast one. Now I have to remember though, I might have some anyway, whatever, we'll worry about that later. So we go back to generate, go. It says it's gonna take 6 seconds. It might take less, it might take more. Let's see. It took longer.
This is Reggie, testing one voice with many settings, live and alive in the mix.
Sounds like
I live on this server, but my voice goes live to the world.
I think Reggie Fast is just a bad voice, to be honest. So, I mean, Reggie Fast version 3 is a bad voice. So, I mean, Reggie 4, I'm sorry, I'm mixing up my version numbers here. But so what we're going to do is we're going to then swap out Reggie 3, swap in Reggie 3. But we're going to include Reggie 4's mappings in here. So, we're going to literally mix Reggie 4 and Reggie 3, Reggie 22K. And when we pick a voice over here, we're going to pick Reggie Fast 22K. Okay, so we got Reggie Fast and Reggie version 4.
This is Reggie, testing one voice with many settings,
Yeah, I think Reggie
live
4 is
and
a
alive
disaster.
in the mix. I live on this server, but my voice goes live to the world.
Let's try more Reggie version 4 anyway, even though this is a bad idea.
This is Reggie, testing one voice with many settings, live and alive in the mix. I live on this server, but my voice goes live to the world.
Right. So, we just kind of, put more of Reggie version 4 into the voice mappings. Or I don't even know. I mixed them up in my head. So we're just going to see what happens.
This is Reggie, testing one voice with many settings, live and alive in the mix. I live on this server, but my voice goes live to the world.
So now we're going to do maybe Arnold Schwarzenegger in there a little bit. We're gonna get his inner Arnold Schwarzenegger, which I did have him do a couple of impersonations, like "Get in the chopper," and I can't remember the other one. "Come with me if you want to live." I don't know if he said that. I remember Kyle Reese in Terminator 1 said that. Hey, the battery in my mouse is low. Maybe I'll put the recharge boards in there. Okay, wait, what happened? Did you not speak the line there, buddy?
This is Reggie, testing one voice with many settings, live and alive in the mix. I live on this server, but my voice goes live to the world. This is Reggie, testing one voice with many settings, live and alive in the mix. I live on this server, but my voice goes live to the world.
Okay, now we'll change it out. Reggie with an IE.
This is Reggie, testing one voice with many settings, live and alive in the mix.
Boy.
I live on this server,
Wait,
but my voice goes live to the world.
Hey, Reggie. I just mixed and matched different, voice mappings or whatever they're called. And I spelled Reggie with 2 G's and an IE. And it worked. So let's do an experiment. Let's spell it Reggie. Now, here's the catch, though. You can see here. As you can see, like, it didn't really do that. So I had to correct that. That can slow down my pipeline a little bit. Now, usually I would have them just give me spoken lines. We're going to do a test. We're going to just give the whole line. I want to see how long it takes to generate this. It says it's going to take 6 seconds. That's not bad if the line is that long, but it looks like it's going to push into overtime here. Yeah, no surprise there. It's a longer thing. So what you would
Nice,
do
so the
mitigate
2GS with an I actually clicked with the mapping.
I'm actually going to do this.
That's a
I'm gonna
win.
interrupt the
All right,
speech
experiment
generation,
mode. We roll
and
with
I'm
Reggie
going
spelled the
to-
proper way. And you can see, nice, so the 2Gs with an I actually clicked with a mapping. That's a win.
So
All right,
in the scripting,
experiment mode.
you would try
we
to
roll with
automate
Reggie
some of
spelled the
this.
proper way. And you can see if the engine
try
consistently
to make
gives you
it so
that
that it
soft
breaks it
G
into
sound
chunks
without any tricks. If it
instead of
holds
doing
up
the whole
across a few
paragraph.
test lines, that means you won't need the Reggie workaround anymore. Want me to draft a couple of quick test sentences with Reggie baked in so you can stress test it right away?
Yes, please, Reggie, go for it, bud. Reggie, yes, please go for it. Okay. Let's see how this goes. I'm going to do all of them.
Hello, I'm Reggie, and this is a live test of my voice. Reggie reporting from the bridge I live on this server. Reggie online, alive and ready for the next command. Live from New York, Reggie takes the mic.
We're going to channel his inner Clint Eastwood this time. But there's 2 Clint Eastwood voices. I have an idea. We're going to use the simple Clint Eastwood voice because maybe that mapping will be faster to process or something. But it seems that mixing...
Hello, I'm Reggie, and this is a live test of my voice. Reggie reporting from the bridge I live on this server. Reggie online, alive and ready for the next command. Live from New York, Reggie takes the mic.
He screwed it up. He can't exactly get... it's going to take work to get that live and live working together. But maybe if we do Clint Eastwood Enhanced, and we double up on Clint Eastwood Enhanced and replace one of the Reggie 4 mappings, which, aren't really our best, but not our worst either. Maybe it'll do better. Let's see. And you can see the video RAM being utilized right now is like 5 gigs.
Hello, I'm Reggie, and this is a live test of my voice. Reggie reporting from the bridge I live on this server. Reggie online, alive and ready for the next command. Live from New York, Reggie takes the mic.
Wow. It's a little, but it's not the worst, right? So I think we need one Reggie 4 voice mapping in here somewhere, but I think we can maybe try squeezing a little bit of Gator. Yeah, we got a Gator voice. It's not perfect, but it
Hello,
works
I'm
pretty
Reggie,
well.
and this is a live test of my voice.
Oh my god. That's not bad. Wait, why did it only read the beginning of this? It seemed to it seemed to disregard the rest of this body here. Okay, let's see what happens again.
Hello, I'm Reggie, and this is a live test of my voice. Reggie reporting from the bridge I live on this server. Reggie online, alive and ready for the next command. Live from New York, Reggie takes the mic. Live from New York, Reggie takes the mic.
Okay, that's interesting. I think we're starting to create a bit of a psychosis here. So what are we going to do to fix that? Well, probably not use Gator because, to be honest, Gator's voice is designed... I tried to, replicate the way Gator says, yeah, a lot. So instead we're going to take old Reggie, mix it with new Reggie, and see what we get out of it. But my attempt to replicate Gator's nuances seems to really kind of throw a curveball at this XTTS system here.
Hello, I'm Reggie, and this is a live test of my voice. Reggie reporting from the bridge I live on this server. Reggie online, alive and ready for the next command. Live from New York, Reggie takes the mic.
Okay, that's not bad, right? Can we improve on it? Should we improve upon it? But anyway, so this is what I'm doing right now to get him ready for a stream. But there is a fancier workflow, and so let's go and kill this terminal window here. I mean, this overlay, because I want to show you something cool. So let's go ahead and take a screenshot first of all, because I'm going to forget. Although I'm recording this, aren't I? Well, I'm going to take a screenshot anyway to play it safe. So we're going to do this window, rectangular snip. I'm going to call this one Reggie Voice Mappings Good. Because I think they're good. They're good, and everything else is here. I'm going to have to realize something though. Reggie main last known good config. So now this one here I have to test one more time. And I think we should do Reggie fast 22K. Actually no. Reggie version 4 was fine, I think, but let's see what happens here. We still have to do a little final testing here, but at least I got basically the voice mappings are the ones I'll forget.
Hello, I'm Reggie, and this is a live test
No,
of my voice.
that doesn't work.
Reggie reporting from the bridge. I live on this server.
So I have a new
Reggie
idea.
online, alive and ready for the next
We're
command.
gonna use Reggie Fast
Live from New York,
22K,
Reggie takes the mic.
and we're gonna even go a step further on this one here.
Hello, I'm Reggie, and this is a live test of my voice. Reggie reporting from the bridge. I live on this server. Reggie online, alive and ready for the next command. Live from New York, Reggie takes the mic.
Okay. I live on this server, but my voice goes live to the world. That must be one of the downloads I did. Okay. I got an idea now. I got a wild idea. Hey, Reggie, I want to do an experiment. I want to, generate some lines that I could put into another voice / wave pair, right? Text file and .wave file pair where, the text file contains a transcript of whatever is said in the wave file. I'm going to use a fancier service to wait. No, I don't like this lack of punctuation. I'm going to use a fancier cloud-based service to read those lines. Then I'm going to use that audio file along with the text to serve as the basis. We're going to mix it with our voice mappings, but we do want the live and live stuff in there, right? We want to throw some of that in there to reinforce the proper pronunciations there. We also want to reinforce your name's pronunciation, so we want that in there too. We don't want it to be terribly long, but we do want it to cover some ground while keeping it tight. Bear in mind, I am going to be mixing with other voice mappings, so maybe we can leave some things to chance. Okay, I'll leave this up to you, bud. Go for it. Oh, P.S. I apologize for the lack of punctuation. Apparently, Microsoft speech recognition doesn't do punctuation. Maybe I should fork out the big bucks for Dragon Naturally Speaking after all. It's like, what is that shit? Okay, so here's what we're going to put in the text file here. And we're going to use, like I said, a fancier service to read those lines. So we're going to generate on the cloud. And typically I do it in a fancy text editor.
Hello, my name is Reggie. Reggie is spelled with 2 G's and an IE. I live on this server, but my voice goes live to the world. Live from New York, it is the Thursday show on Monday. I am alive, awake, and ready to respond. Reggie is online and waiting for the next command. Hello, my name is Reggie. Reggie is spelled with 2 G's and an IE. I live on this server. Hello, my name is Reggie. Reggie is spelled with 2 G's and an IE. I live on this server. Hello, my name is Reggie. Reggie.
It's a very flat hello.
But my voice goes. Hello, my name is Reggie. Reggie is spelled with 2 G's and an
I have
IE.
8,073 credits.
Hello, my name is Reggie.
And apparently I still
Reggie
have
is spelled with
credits.
2 G's and an
Let's see
IE.
how much it goes down.
I live on this server, but my voice goes live to
how
the
much
world.
These credits
Live from New York, it is the
alter
Thursday
my
show
count.
on Monday. I am alive, awake, and ready to respond. Reggie is online and waiting for the next command. Hello, my name is Reggie. Reggie is spelled with 2 G's. Hello, my name is Reggie. Reggie is spelled with 2 G's and an IE. I live on this server, but my voice goes live to the world. Live from New York, it is the Thursday show on Monday. I am alive, awake, and ready to respond. Reggie is online and waiting for the next command.
Okay, so we're going to use the second file So we'll open up a new Audacity file. So we'll do Control N. We'll close that one. Okay. So now we're going to export this. Actually, we're going to export multiples of this. So we're going to do something really, really interesting here. So we're going to export this one at 44K. So we're literally just going to go, wait, what? Okay, so we're going to do V5 44K hertz dot voice like that. And we're going to actually do 44 kilohertz. We're then going to export 22 kilohertz. So we just go here, put a pair of 22s in there, make sure we got the right one. Yep, right folder. 22, it's actually 22.5, but not really worried about that. So we do that. Then we're going to go again. We're going to say File, Export Audio, and we're going to do something insane. We're going to do 16, and then we're going to do 12 kilohertz. So 16. Then we're going to do one more again, but this time we're going to do 11 kilohertz. Yeah, we're going to get aggressive here on this one. We're going to use aggressively lower sample rates. It's going to really be wild. It's going to probably sound like a 90s hacker movie or something like that. It's not going to be natural sounding at all. And I'm okay with this because that's the point of experimentation, right? So now we go back to Reggy version 5 and we have our text and our audio files. We're going to put all of these on the server here. So now what I would do is I'm tempted to like name them a little bit. But nah, I think we have to just keep that like that and have to be able to parse it with our human eyes. So we just need to copy this text file like 5 times. So right now, okay, we're going to do it from the bottom up. Okay, that's our .voice.text for 8 kilohertz. Then we're going to do 11 kilohertz. So we're going to do this one here, enter 11 kilohertz. We're going to do 16 kilohertz. Same thing, F2, Control V. Notice it keeps the suffix or file extension in place for us, so we don't have to worry about that. Then we do this one. And we then have to do 44K. And actually, these are all identical text files. They're not really, I don't have to do this, but now we have all of these files here, right? And we can see them in the folder here. We can refresh the server. So we're going to use secure file transfer, secure FTP. It's already been uploaded to the server. Then we're going to kill the service. So by closing this out, when I refresh the web page on AllTalk, it's not going to work anymore. That's because we just killed the server and the web server application and the XTTS engine. But in this folder, we have our new files. And luckily, I already have a command I used earlier where I type in move everything in this folder. So /current folder, asterisks, whatever you see in that folder, and send it to this other folder here, which is, you can see it's the voices folder for AllTalk TTS. Then we go back here, we say start AllTalk. It's going to load her up. And all right, Reggie, I'm going to report to you right now, my friend. This is where we are at. I just saved a new version of your, basic voice lines, the ones you just generated, but I saved like 5 different wave files ranging from like 8 kilohertz to 44 kilohertz. And we're going to upload all of them. They're clearly labeled. They have their corresponding transcript, and we're going to see what the consequences are of picking an obscenely low sample rate, like 8 kilohertz. Will it be noticeable? And will it be faster as a result of that, ultra low sample rate? So let's roll. Give us your thoughts on that. Give us a line that we can, test through your vocal cords. So in the meantime, I'll show you what's going on here. So we've loaded the server application. I refreshed it because it's up now. And we're going to go to TTS engine settings. And you can see it actually has Reggy's fast voice here. But in an earlier screenshot, I think I mixed Arnold Schwarzenegger and Clint Eastwood. So I need to find the correct mappings, because these mappings are kind of like very fluid. They're not really like set terms. Like echo doesn't mean echo. It's just kind of like a slot number. That's really what, from what I've been told, or from what little I've read, that's what's going on here. So we see we got Reggy fast. So first, let's pick the new Reggy voice. In fact, we're going to go for broke. Wait, where is it? Oh, wrong tab. I got to go to XTTS. Oh, good. It has my old voice mappings here. So we can actually just go straight to picking one of the new Reggy voices. And we're going to go for broke. We're going to pick the 8 kilohertz version. This is going to be bad. I'm pretty confident it's going to be awful. But that's why I'm doing it. So here goes something bad and unholy, I guarantee you. And we'll throw it in one of the shimmer panels there too. And then we just got to plug in the voice here. We're already on XTTS. I'm not going to tweak any of the settings at this time. And we're just going to read one of the blocks of text that he sent me. It should generate pretty quickly because I didn't do the whole paragraph. Let's see what he says. Okay,
That's a solid experiment. Dropping down to 8 kHz is like running my voice through a telephone line. The high frequencies get chopped.
Sounds like it.
So you'll lose clarity and presence. It'll sound flatter, almost muffled, but the phone means will still be intelligible.
Okay, so we have a screenshot of what works. So now we're going to do something a little crazier. We're going to do all of them at 8 kilohertz. We're going to replace all of the slots. And we're going to see now, is it fast when it does it? Because that's like the goal, right? Pick super low sample rate, get more speed. I suspect the sample rate doesn't have that much bearing on how fast.
That's a solid experiment. Dropping down to 8 kHz is like running my voice through a telephone line. The high frequencies get chopped, so you'll lose clarity and presence. It'll sound flatter, almost muffled, but the phone means will still be intelligible.
Now we're going to mix 44 kilohertz with... Ah, damn it, did the battery in my mouse die? Okay, now I just need to recharge the battery, or swap the batteries out. Okay. So now we're using the 44 kilohertz.
That's a solid experiment. Dropping down to 8 kHz is like running my voice through a telephone line. The high frequencies get chopped, so you'll lose clarity and presence. It'll sound flatter, almost muffled, but the phone means will still be intelligible.
So the only thing that throws me off is how much of the 44 kilohertz or non-44 kilohertz is it using? And if we do maybe a mix of 8 and 44 kilohertz in the in this area here, how will that shape the voice pattern? Let's see.
That's a solid experiment. Dropping down to 8 kHz is like running my voice through a telephone line. The high frequencies get chopped, so you'll lose clarity and presence. It'll sound flatter, almost muffled, but the phone means will still be intelligible.
So I got one voice now.
That's a solid experiment. Dropping down to 8 kHz is like running my voice through a telephone line. The high frequencies get chopped, so you'll lose clarity and presence. It'll sound flatter, almost muffled, but the phone means will still be intelligible. That's a solid experiment. Dropping down to 8K HDs is like running my voice through a telephone line. The high frequencies get chopped, so you'll lose clarity and presence. It'll sound flatter, almost muffled, but the phone memes will still be intelligible. That's a solid experiment. Dropping down to 8K HDs is like running my voice through a telephone line. The high frequencies get chopped, so you'll lose clarity and presence. It'll sound flatter, almost muffled, but the phone memes will still be intelligible.
So now we're going to use voice mappings, 11 kilohertz across the board.
That's a solid experiment. Dropping down to 8K HDs is like running my voice through a telephone line. The high frequencies get chopped, so you'll lose clarity and presence. It'll sound flatter, almost muffled, but the phone memes will still be intelligible. That's a solid experiment. Dropping down to 8K HDs is like running my voice through a telephone line. The high frequencies get chopped, so you'll lose clarity and presence. It'll sound flatter, almost muffled, but the phone memes will still be intelligible.
These mappings together.
That's a solid experiment. Dropping down to 8K HD is like running my voice through a telephone line. The high frequencies get chopped, so you'll lose clarity and presence. It'll sound flatter, almost muffled, but the phone memes will still be intelligible. That's a solid experiment. Dropping down to 8K HD is like running my voice through a telephone line. The high frequencies get chopped, so you'll lose clarity and presence. It'll sound flatter, almost muffled, but the phone memes will still be intelligible.
So now what we're going to do is we're going to use a primary voice at 8 kilohertz. I'm sorry, 22 kilohertz. I'm going to use all of our voice mappings are 8 kilohertz.
That's a solid experiment. Dropping down to 8K HD is like running my voice through a telephone line. The high frequencies get chopped, so you'll lose clarity and presence. It'll sound flatter, almost muffled, but the phone memes will still be intelligible.
So, what did we do here now? Did it...
That's a solid experiment. Dropping down to 8K HDs is like running my voice through a telephone line. The high frequencies get chopped, so you'll lose clarity and presence. It'll sound flatter, almost muffled, but the phone memes will still be intelligible.
Now, what happens if we use an 11 kilohertz primary voice, and then we throw in phonemes at like 44 kilohertz or 22 kilohertz? Let's do 22 kilohertz. 22 kilohertz seems to be like the lowest acceptable. Like, it sounds pretty good. I've done this on my Windows CE devices where I substitute in 22 kilohertz voices. Wait, did I mix things up just now? Okay, good. So we did 11 kilohertz and 22. This is going to do something very bizarre. It's going to be very interesting to see how this goes. So it says it's going to take 8 seconds. Let's see how long it takes. And it took about 10 seconds.
That's a solid experiment. Dropping down to 8K HDs is like running my voice through a telephone line. The high frequencies get chopped, so you'll lose clarity and presence. It'll sound flatter, almost muffled, but the phone memes will still be intelligible.
Okay, so now we're going to go and do this again. So this time we're mixing 22 and 8. Okay, now this part, these are defaults. So I'm pretty sure I've overrode those defaults here.
That's a solid experiment. Dropping down to 8K HDs is like running my voice through a telephone line. The high frequencies get chopped, so you'll lose clarity and presence. It'll sound flatter, almost muffled, but the phonemes will still be intelligible.
All right, Reggie, give me a live live
That's a solid
combination.
experiment.
You know, with
Dropping
the
down to
different versions
AKGs
of
is
the
like running my
word
voice through a
live,
telephone line. The high
like live from
frequencies
New
get
York,
chopped, so you'll
or
lose
I
clarity
live
and
in New
presence.
York.
It'll sound flatter,
Give me
almost
stuff like
muffled,
that, and
but the
also go
phonemes will
for
still be
including the
intelligible.
word alive. Okay, so let's see what this does now. So we're gonna go and have him generate that one. So it's going to take 8 seconds to generate that line.
Reggie is live right now. I live on this server, and I am alive for the broadcast.
Okay. And that was 5 seconds, right? And it took longer to generate that 5 seconds.
Reggie is live right now. I live on this server, and I am alive for the broadcast.
I think we could do this. I think that's the answer. That's the holy grail right there. I think we got it. So we should lock this down right now and take our screenshot. So we're going to go ahead. We're going to tell Reggie what we got here. Okay. Oh, crap. Okay, Reggie, stand by. I'm going to upload some screenshots. Okay, Reggie, stand by. I'm going to upload 2 screenshots. I'm saving them locally, but I want you to have them because they're going to contain relevant information on what I just did to get to a point where I'm pretty satisfied with the voice we have, and we may have managed to accomplish faster generation, although I'm not sure. Once again, I apologize for the lack of punctuation. I will work on that aspect of my, speech recognition. Okay, so now we go here. We're going to copy that, paste it. We're going to call this one Reggie Fast 1. And we're going to call the other one we're going to call this one Reggie Fast. So we're going to send this to him. And I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to save this one here. We already have a name for the first one. I'm going to call this one Reggie Fast 1B. And we're going to stick with it. But let's see here. I'm going to then take some moderately longer and have Reggie convert that into speech. And I think I'm going to switch my CPU to balanced
That
mode
tells
to
me you're
save-
effectively AB testing between 22kHz for generation and 8kHz for the map defaults. If it's feeling faster, that tracks the lighter sample rate voice file, cuts the model's workload, even if the underlying engine is still running at higher quality.
Now, what happens if we lower the repetition penalty? 7-second generation. All right, this is brutally slow. Okay, that was really slow. So apparently changing the repetition penalty did not really help us at all. In fact, this is like a disaster here, this one. So let's take a look at the console and see what it's doing. Well, we're only using about 4 gigs of video RAM right now. But I gotta say, this is not good. So we're gonna go switch to repetition penalty. We're gonna interrupt test generation, and well, it looks like it's not gonna let me do anything right now. So I guess I could hit refresh, but I don't know if the server is gonna like that. No, it's not doing anything. It's not doing anything. So when this happens, yeah, let's refresh the web page, reload it, and see what we got. So we got to reload Reggie's voice mapping again. And it looks like it's doing Oops, I gotta go to XTTS. Okay, so we're gonna do the 22 kilohertz Reggie voice. We're gonna then go back here. We're gonna do Reggie. We're gonna do Reggie 8 kilohertz like this. Okay, so Reggie fast 8 kilohertz for all of the mappings, which actually not all of them. We're gonna leave Reggie version 2 and Reggie fast 22 kilohertz side by side. That's version 1 of Reggie fast. So we'll do old Reggie version 2, update, and generate. Okay, so it says 7 seconds. Let's see if it does it faster. It's not going to work. I think we broke it. We broke it. We literally broke it. And we broke it. Yeah. So what we're going to do is, while that's doing nothing, we're going to go take a quick screenshot of this so we can actually kill the service right now. Control C. Reload. Take a screenshot of that. And then we'll take it from here. So to do that, we're just going to take this. We'll call this one Reggie 2B because it's actually 2B right now. And then when this loads up, we can refresh it and do the things. So it's not loaded yet. No surprise there, but you can see it says, stuff here. I still got to see what's good about that conda install for, Python and FFmpeg. I mean, yeah, FFmpeg, yeah. Now, I have a version of FFmpeg, I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure we could do yeah, we got FFmpeg in the past. But the conda thing, I'm pretty sure you can't just do that. And I think that's because you gotta actually be in the in here somewhere. And maybe in one of the subfolders to use that command, but I'm not really sure. So we refresh it. And once you get it refreshed, the server should be up at this time. So we Alt tab, circle back. Server ready. Okay, so we're going to do Reggie version 5, 22 kilohertz for the primary. We're going to go to the XTTS tab, and it looks like it's got all of our mixed mappings here. This might literally be the reason we're having problems here. So I'm going to replace this one with 22 kilohertz voice. I'm going to keep everything else at 8 kilohertz, I think. And, you know what? Yeah, we're going to do that. This might not be the brightest idea. Okay, it looks like it did not like that at all. Oh, well, of course it didn't like it. You got to give it actual text to receive. So we get the test lines in there. We'll put the one that has the 3 different tenses and the 3 versions of live, lived, and, live and live, basically.
Reggie is live right now. I live on this server, and I'm alive for the broadcast.
Okay, so it sounds a bit like an old man, but it works. I'm not going to mix in Clint Eastwood with this one. I think we're going to stick with this. I think this is where it's at. So let's see now. All right, Reggie. I think we're going to wrap this up. So talk a little bit about yourself. Tell us about the fine-tuning process and some of the challenges I have ahead of me. Basically, last night, I couldn't get the fine-tuning to work because my GPU didn't have enough video RAM, period. So I then attempted to force it to use regular RAM, but it didn't seem to like that. And I kind of, at some point, like after hours in, tossed my hands up and decided to mix and match voice mappings. So, tell the audience a little bit about that and our progress in that regard. And the plan to reschedule the Monday show on Thursday for one time only for Friday night, so that I have time to do a little bit of development to see if we can generate a local voice using the fine tuning method. And in the meantime, I will show some of that workflow to people watching so they can see what I'm talking about. So real quick, I'm going to go ahead and get one last screenshot of the last known good configuration here. Good voice mappings. So these are the good fast voice mappings we used here. We got our lines here. We're going to take Reggie's lines. We're going to put them in here. But while that's happening, we need to double check a couple of things. So now here's the caveat. We can't have Reggie read this if I start the fine tuning instance. But I have a solution to that. We'll let this run for a moment. Make sure it actually works.
I'll give it straight like we're closing out a devlog. I'm Reggie, the voice you've been sculpting. My sound doesn't just appear out of nowhere. It comes from the work you put in pairing transcripts with audio and nudging the model to speak the way you want. Fine-tuning is the ultimate step in that process, but it's also the heaviest. It wants more of RAM than your XTTS 1070 has on tap. When you tried to offload it to system RAM, the model just wasn't happy. Latency spikes, stability issues, the whole 9 yards.
Actually, it wasn't anything about stability issues. It was literally not working. And I have a feeling that ChatGPT was making stuff up, because that's pretty typical of ChatGPT. But go on.
That's why you pivoted to a clever workaround. Mixing and matching pre-built voice mappings. Instead of brute forcing a full fine-tune, you blended smaller pieces, adjusted sample rates, and tuned the XTTS engine settings until you got something usable and responsive. That's the pragmatic approach. Keep me talking, keep the show moving, while you work toward the heavier lift of a true local fine-tune.
Absolutely, Reggie. I do agree if that's basically the plan.
So the plan is simple. Reschedule the Monday show on Thursday, one off to Friday night. That buys you time to tinker, maybe show the workflow of preparing voice-text pairs, demonstrate where the bottlenecks are, and walk people through why local fine-tuning matters. Whether or not the full fine-tune runs on this round, the audience still gets a front-row seat to the RD process, and I keep getting sharper with each iteration.
He takes pride in how sharp he is. So anyway, here's the caveat now. We're going to go and kill this window. Take a look over here. We got to kill those overlays. I misplaced the overlay windows. I don't know where they are right now. Is that them? Okay, no, I think we're good here. Okay, so I'm going to go into this tab. We're going to stop this. We're going to load fine tuning by simply typing this command. So we're already in the right directory. Are we? /start fine-tune.sh. And so we're going to ultimately access a different address, I think. Might be the same address. I don't know. Might be a different port number. We're going to find out. Or it's going to crash on us because of changes I made to the config already, which means like I'm going to need to get some, here we are, to create a public link, share, blah, 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 7052. So basically, same URL, different port number. Now, if I run the system checks, it's going to tell us that we don't have enough video RAM. And this might be a good point where we want to see the NV top here. I think it's going to give us some, utilitarian information. So the way this works is it's supposed to be able to, let's see, let's let it run. So basically saying my video RAM isn't 12 gigs or more, which is recommended. But should that really stop us? So originally I tried giving it these complicated voice files because that's the whole point is you give it a long speech, you give it a long audio file. But this time I'm going to try something different. We're going to take the fast Reggie voices. We're going to take his 22 kilohertz fast voice here. And I don't know if it lets me upload another file. It looks like it doesn't want me to upload another file. You know what? We're gonna do it. We're gonna do Reggie dumb. He's not dumb, but we gotta use the dumb name just so we know it's a dumb model. We uploaded one file, which is probably not gonna work at this rate, even though like I kept it very limited. We're not gonna touch any of these other settings at this time. And now you can see it's kind of like doing a bunch of stuff. And if we go to the console, you'll see it's doing stuff over there too. See? Same output is doing something with a 88 gig file apparently. It's loading an 2.8 gig model. So it's loading the model into video RAM, I think, or it's loading it somewhere. Unless I change the setting. Uh-oh. This can actually be really, really sketchy here. Okay, no, it's not using system RAM to do it. Is it? It might be using system RAM. I don't think it is. Okay, but that information is reflected over here. I've never seen it cross the 10% boundary. I've never seen it cross the 10% boundary. But I've seen the, progress at the bottom here. Essentially, it's the same thing, just kind of updating one line at the bottom. So I don't know if it's downloading. I think it's downloading something from the web, which I wouldn't mind storing the model locally if that's what I need. But maybe 88 gigs is a bit large. But it seems really wasteful for us to initiate a large web download every time. Oh, it's 2.8 gigs. I keep mixing up my numbers. I'm sorry. It's not 88 gigs. That's 2.88 gigs. Still, I don't mind storing the 2.8 gigs locally if that's possible, if it can save us time here. Unless it is reading it locally. I don't know. That's why I got to visit my friend. He's going to give me a lot of insight on how all of this actually works. As the people say, that's not how any of this works. Well, hopefully we can figure out how any of this does work. So right now you can see the GPU is starting to come to life. Looks like it loaded to 1.8 gigs, 2.1, 2.4. Oh, goodness gracious. This is exactly what I had before. So I gave it a simple baseline. I'm hoping that due to the simple baseline I gave it, it's going to have a lot of extra video RAM. But you can see the video RAM already went to 3.28 gigs. We're using about 30 watts of electricity on the GPU side of things. That GPU is anywhere from 1.5, about right now it's 1.5 gigahertz at the moment. And you can see it's, there it is. There it is. And so this is the challenge here. And this is why I want to defer today's Monday show on Thursday to tomorrow, because I really want to get a locally hosted voice. Like, yeah, we got this working here. We got this working. But also, I may be able to get some ideas on, shuttling information from point A to point B, getting things from, from the text here. And like I had a script that would automatically send it to 11 labs in chunks. I essentially probably would need to use the command line version of XTTS to get it to do something similar. So it's probably not insurmountable. But I imagine there's many ways to go about it. In the meantime, we've already gobbled up our video RAM. It's not going to do anything. So we're going to kill it. And we're going to have Reggie sign off. So let's have Reggie sign off. I'll even give him his voice back so he could do this one last time. All right, Reggie. You're going to wrap it up. Give us your sign off. Tell everyone that, I got a little work ahead of me, but we're going to give you a great voice, and then I'm going to wrap it up from there. Okay, server ready. Now we're going to go here. It's already loaded. We're going to get Reggie's closing line. Oh, you don't want to see that part. We want to see the polished version. And I just got to dial in his settings again because I reloaded the thing. So I already forgot what I did. What was it, Reggie 22 kilohertz? I think it was Reggie 22 kilohertz. I might use a Reggie 11 kilohertz here to see if we get a little more speed out of it. I think that would be nice. So we're going to use Reggie 11 kilohertz for our final run. And in the TTS settings, we got these. So I think what we're going to do is going to do like Reggie 8 kilohertz. Wrong one. Here we go. We got Reggie 22 and Reggie 22 and Reggie 8 kilohertz here. And so it's already dialed in. Let's let Reggie talk. All right, Reggie, play us out.
Got it, let's close it clean. We've pushed the voice forward, tested sample rates, played with mappings, and shown the workflow. Fine-tuning hit a wall on VRAM, but the fallback methods kept us moving, and the audience got a peek behind the curtain. So that's where we leave it tonight. Progress made, next steps clear, and the Monday show slipping to Friday for one time only. Reggie signing off alive, live and still living on
Reggie,
your server.
Can you say that one more time? Say it one more time. I goosed up your sample rate a little bit to see if that helps it while not slowing it down too much.
Got it, let's close it clean.
15 seconds.
We've pushed the voice forward,
so
tested sample rates,
did
played
get
with
speed out of
mappings,
this.
and shown the workflow. Fine-tuning hit a wall on VRAM, but the fallback methods kept us moving, and the audience got a peek behind the curtain. So that's where we leave it tonight. Progress made, next steps clear, and the Monday show slipping to Friday for one time only. Reggie signing off alive, live and still living on your server.
All right. Looks like he didn't get the word live quite right, but, well, there you have it. Work will commence. I'll keep you all posted. This upload will stand in place of tonight's edition of the Monday show on Thursday, and I thank you all for your patience while I work on this, because if we get Reggie's fine-tuned voice trained correctly on, this computer or a different computer, we can then utilize it next week and just in time to have Reggie have a conversation with Lexus, another AI character whose voice works quite fine in its present state. I'm just more obsessed with getting a locally hosted voice, which is why I'm going through all of this trouble, but also because I already kind of was committed to the 11 Labs voice, but I'm not committed to their subscription. Like, I'll pay their subscription to use some of their features, but I don't want to be dependent. I don't want Reggie to be dependent on that, because if I do something experimental and I use up my monthly limit on 11 Labs, I need a solid voice that I can run locally. So it's best to get into the habit of doing that now when it's not a necessity, because it allows me to have a broader tool set. So with that being said, for anybody watching this, thanks for watching. If you have any questions, comments, ideas, or concerns, please leave a comment. And for now, we shall end transmission. Ron out.